Hey guys, welcome to Coffee Combos. Lindsay, it's been 3 weeks since I've seen you and talked to you.
Well, not talk to me, but like it's been
like in depth for
Yes.
Coffee Combos.
Yes. Can you please tell me about your phone situation?
Okay, first of all, so I have two phones. I have a work phone and my personal phone. My personal phone
Kevin Gates.
has like my entire life in it, and then my work phone I use for like if I was to get like an Instagram deal or like anything like that and have the companies call that number. I don't have any contacts in it besides like my son's dad and my assistant. Well, and you know what I mean? Like I just don't have numbers in it. So I already had a cracked screen on my personal phone, and like the ink, have you ever dropped an iPhone and like the ink like runs or whatever?
Okay.
Like it's like a blob, like an ink blob. You know what I'm talking about?
Well, I do know what you're talking about because I've dropped a MacBook and that's happened, but I'm going to go ahead and knock on wood and say that I have never cracked an iPhone screen, but watch me say that and then like...
It happens.
Yeah.
Well, we're not going to manifest that.
Yeah.
So I already had, like, my whole screen was already cracked, but I was, like, thugging it out and, like, letting it rock like that because it worked, and I didn't really want to pay for a new phone. Like, I just didn't want, and, like, Apple is an hour away, and, like, yeah, Verizon works or whatever, but, like, I didn't want to, like, replace the screen and shit. So, long story short, I dropped it again, and it, like, just, like, completely shit the bed. So, I said, okay, fuck. Like, the next day, I think it was, like, a Sunday or a Monday, I don't remember. Went to get a new phone at Verizon. Cool, got it, but they were not able to transfer even my contacts or anything. So I was like, okay, that it'll work for now. Like, it's annoying, but like at least when people text me, I can be like, hey, I got a new phone, but who is this? Same number and everything like that. Well, for whatever reason, I went to go put the password into it, and it locked me out for 15 minutes again, and then it locked me out for an hour, and then it completely locked me out altogether, and it says, like, plug your phone into iTunes. And it's like, okay, cool, but, like, I still, because my phone wasn't backed up to iCloud because I'm paranoid about, like, my nudes leaking, I, like, didn't do that. So, long story short, the Verizon store said to take it to Apple. Well, that's great and all, but I have company here visiting from Florida until Wednesday, and I'm not going to take an entire day. Apple's an hour away, so it's like, to drive there, make the appointment, stay for the appointment, transfer everything, it would turn into like a several hour thing.
Oh,
so
God.
I can't go to Apple until Thursday. So I've been just kind of like on Instagram and Twitter through my work phone, but like not too much because, and also it's like a form of communication, but it's just been like a real pain in the ass, to be honest. So now you have my work phone number, and in the event that my phone breaks or I can't get a new phone on Thursday, at least I have communication with you.
Well, I honestly feel like we're living like in the olden days where, okay, I don't turn my notifications on Instagram. So if
right,
my
me neither.
Notifications are on, then it would just be like nothing but Instagram notifications. So I'm like, no thanks. Opt out, whatever. So I feel like I have to check my Instagram ever so often because I'm like, Kail probably sent something. So I check my messages, and then sometimes it'll be like seen, but like she didn't respond back. And I'm like, okay, bitch, like respond back. It might be important. And then I'm like, well, maybe like Kristen's getting them. For those of you who don't know who Kristen is, that's Kail's assistant. I'm like, well, maybe Kristen's getting them and she's opening them. And then Kail's like going back in like later. And
no,
then
she's not. She's not opening anything personal. She doesn't open. Like there's certain things that she opens and certain things she doesn't. But no, I just am so used to like responding later, and I don't have my read receipts on, so like I forget that it says seen, and then I feel like an asshole. So I'm just not good at this, and I hate actually DMing. Like I don't like it. I would rather someone text me. So
me too.
And not because of the read. Like I just like an extra thing to check that I don't want to check, and so then I'm like, well, fuck, and then I didn't respond, and then it's like then I have to keep the conversation going on Instagram, and it would just really be easier if you just texted me. But then I don't want. I'm glad you have this number because if this does happen again, you have it. But I'm just like, it has on the flip side been kind of nice to not have my phone being blown up in text messages by like everyone. You know what I mean? Like it's been kind of nice because it's like on my terms. I check my DMs.
Exactly. You know, I wish we could actually all live like that, where it's like we don't have that instant communication to where you have to like go the extra mile to check it.
Right.
And it's not just like right there in your face, because when it's right there in your face, you have a sense. Well, I say you have a sense. Let's be honest. Everybody's seen my phone. And for those of you who have are listening that don't personally know me, I don't open a lot of messages, which is really annoying. But I don't know, like I'm just like weird like that. But I do open like messages that I probably should immediately get back to. And if I see somebody's name come up on my phone that I know probably I need to be in communication with, then I have something in me is just like, I need to open that.
Yeah. Yeah, right. No, I get it.
Then I feel a sense of like, crap, I need to respond. It's
okay. So that's why you don't open your text messages, because then you feel the need to respond. It's not necessarily about, okay.
Because it's almost like, this is really weird, but it's almost like I know I got it, but if I don't open it, I don't feel an obligation to respond. But if I open it and I read it, then I feel a sense of like, okay, that's rude if you don't respond. But it's also equally as rude not to open it.
Yeah, probably. I would agree with that. I mean, there's no real winning here, I guess. Have you ever noticed that you can either be cute or comfortable, but it feels like you can't ever do both at the same time? Thanks to Rothy's shoes, you can be cute and comfortable.
Rothy shoes comes in 4 styles: the flat, the point, the loafer, and the sneaker for women and girls. But they also come in tons of colors and patterns, so there's tons of options.
I do have the camo loafers, and I love them, but I really want to order the all-white loafer because I feel like they match everything.
And the all-white sneaker is really cute, too.
Yeah, super fresh. The best feature is that they're 100% machine washable, and they never look dingy or dirty, so they last longer than standard flats. And they're good for the planet because they're made from recycled plastic, which is so awesome.
Check out all the amazing styles available right now at rothys.com/coffee. Go to rothys.com, that's ROTHYS.com, and enter coffee to get your new favorite flats. Comfort, style, sustainability. These are the shoes that you've been waiting for. Head to rothys.com/coffee today. So in other news, you're going to be like, you're freaking weird. We all know this, but I've been watching on Snapchat this thing called Love Don't Judge. Have you seen this?
Okay. No.
Okay. It's like, I'm not subscribed to it, but it'll like pop up on my feed or whatever you call it on Snapchat. I'm not really that good at Snapchat, but I saw it on there and I was like, what's this about? I'll watch like makeup ones or, whatever. So I literally sit there and watch for like as long as the thread is. And it's like lots of snaps. And it's this girl on there that's a 24-year-old YouTuber, and I forget what her name was. But it's basically about like all these people being with each other that have like these huge age gaps. So like this specific girl was 24 years old, and her girlfriend is a 61-year-old woman, 37-year age gap. And she was talking about how she was really scared about taking her girlfriend home to see her mom because her mom is younger than the girlfriend.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, oh, well, that's kind of interesting. Like, what do we feel about this? So I just thought it was like something fun to have conversation about, because I feel like so many people feel like a different type of way about stuff.
Right.
And for me, I feel like if I didn't watch the same cartoons as you, then it's probably not a thing.
Right.
Because we maybe intellectually or just different like life phases, I guess. I want to be like in the same life phase as somebody, not somebody that's like lived a substantial amount of time longer than me. And then they're kind of like, I'm not going to say 61's like the end of life, but you know what I'm saying? Like they've already lived like their younger years. But I don't know. Like, I don't know how other people feel about it. If it's weird. The weird thing is when I watch it, I didn't really feel like it was weird because I don't really care. Mm-hmm. Because it's not me doing it. But if I was doing it, I wouldn't be doing it. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So tell me, would you be doing it? Like, if you were 24 years old and there was a 61-year-old male
No,
or female
I would
that you
not.
were attracted to?
No, I would not.
100% confidence you would not.
100% confidence I would not, because I feel like we wouldn't have anything in common.
That's what I feel.
Don't think that I could do the sexual things with someone that's like 20 years older than me.
I just kind of feel like, oh, okay, that person was like grown and gone from their parents' house when I was like coming out.
No, that's a no. They could be your dad. They could literally be your dad. And like, that's what I would think of. Like, they would be my parent.
Yeah. So if you're listening, and you have an experience with this, or if you are significantly younger or significantly older than your significant other, then let us know. Just because it's something that is interesting to me. I like to hear people's takes on, you know, like why they go one way or why they go the other way. Some people I know in my real life that like only date people that are like 10 years older than them. And it's a thing.
See, that's weird to me.
So then at that point, I'm like, okay, since you only date people that are like 10 or more years older than you, does that make it a fetish?
I'm maybe not a fetish, but like a preference. Like, some people will only date people who are older than them. Like, wouldn't even just date someone that's like a year or two younger. So maybe it's not necessarily a fetish, unless like that's what you're seeking out. I don't know. Like, I truly don't know.
I don't know either, but not really changing the subject, but kind of changing the subject. I did want to let you know that I'm not the only person on WikiFeet. You're also on WikiFeet.
I'm on WikiFeet?
Yes.
No, I'm not. I never put myself on there.
You don't put yourself on there. They make this up of yourself. I didn't freaking put myself on WikiFeet. Are you nuts?
I'm going to Google right now. Like, I'm literally Googling as we speak.
You really are. I swear you are. It's like pictures of like a lot of pictures of your feet. You actually have more pictures of your feet on there than I have pictures of my feet, but that's understandable because you're always barefoot. So like,
oh, I'm always, okay. It's called like Wiki, like Wikipedia?
Yeah, like WikiFeet.
WikiFeet. And what do I do? Google my name?
Yeah.
Oh my God, celebrities. Oh God, I'm not doing this. Oh wow. Oh my God, no. This can't be real. Okay, first of all, they have really first of all, that first picture is not even my feet. So that's a lie. Second of all, they have like really unflattering pictures of me from like 2 years ago. And the back of my legs looks like cottage cheese. So that's really unsettling. I hope they're not like that still.
Well, like 2 years ago, you were pregnant. So if you didn't have any
I had just given birth.
If you didn't have any form of cellulite at any point in your life of like a major time that you've gained weight, then you're not normal. So I'm kind of glad that you did.
I can't believe this. Why is this a thing? So what do they do?
Because it's fetishes. It's fetish people.
Yeah, but this is a fetish. I don't know if the age thing is a fetish until it's like...
I completely just like made that up. Like, people that date 10 years older is a fetish. Like, I'm so full of shit. Okay, so now that you found yourself on WikiFeet, I love that.
Some of them are not even my feet, though.
But the fact that you can also be bothered to the same sense that I'm bothered, it's kind of like that thing, like you don't wish like bad on somebody else, but you kind of like want somebody to understand with you. So I'm glad that you can like really understand that it's creepy.
Okay, people. So I want to talk about meat for a second. Seriously, we're talking about meat, like the kind that you eat. It's barbecue season, and we're gearing up for lots of picnics, graduation parties, and pool parties, and you need meat for that.
Yep, and with ButcherBox, you can get amazing 100% grass-fed, free-range, organic chicken and other high-quality protein that you can trust. They deliver their boxes right to your door in dry ice.
You can choose one of their boxes of beef, chicken, fish, or pork, or you can customize your own selections of the meat you need, and they cut out the middleman.
I personally personalized my box so that I could have a variety of meat. I love that it's just super high quality and it makes it so easy to stock up for all your family functions and barbecues. I also love the fact that I'm not really a good meat picker, so I love the fact that it just comes straight to your door and it doesn't take you having to go to the grocery store and waste all of my time on the meat aisle wondering if it's going to turn out good or not.
So I actually also customized my box. I did pork, chicken, and beef, and we recently went camping and brought all the meat with us and used it, and it was just like perfect because I didn't have to go to the store and do that extra stop on the way to the cabin.
I love it, and we love ButcherBox. So if you would like to receive $20 off your first box and a package of free bacon in every box for the life of your subscription, go to butcherbox.com/coffeecombos or enter coffee combos at checkout. Go now, limited time offer.
That's $20 off your first box and package of free bacon in every box for the life of your subscription at butcherbox.com/coffeecombos. ButcherBox bacon is sourced from heritage breed pigs and is uncured, nitrate-free, and sugar-free.
You want me to tell you something else that I waste my time on? And it's like an enormous amount of time.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Okay, so have you ever been on Facebook and you see like all of those videos of like making these meals and stuff? Or like a recipe?
No.
Okay, well, I don't know why it comes up on my Facebook and not your Facebook, but it does. Probably because I watch them. Probably I watched it like one time and then it like made people think that I liked looking at recipes. So then they just put it on my feed. So I will just be on Facebook. Like if I can't sleep, I'll just be on Facebook for like hours looking at these freaking recipes that I'm never going to make.
Right.
Like what am I doing?
I mean, I've watched these like little, I think they were on Facebook also. They're like these like they make like baked goods with like mini utensils. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes. But like, why are
like,
we watching
why
this
am I watching this? No, I'm not going to ever watch, like, I'm never going to make them. And I'm also never going to, like, what am I doing with this knowledge? Like, I'm not even doing anything with it. Like, why am I watching this? I think they're on Twitter too sometimes.
That's how I feel. And like, I will get so invested in one of these recipes and it's kind of like I'm in the kitchen doing it, but like I'm doing none of the work. I'm actually just laying in my bed, like watching people do all of this work that I'm never going to do. And I'm like, okay, this is a total waste of time, but I don't realize that I've wasted time until like 2 hours have passed and then I'll be on like my 12th video. And I'm like, okay, I should probably go to sleep now. So
I hate when that happens.
Yeah, it's like, it's seriously the freaking worst. So over the weekend, Della got sick on like her bed. She threw up on her bed and I don't know, like I've always kind of had a dog like in various times of my life, but I'm not like one of those people that can like diagnose a dog of something, you know, like if something happens, I'm not going to be one of those people that knows how to like really know what to do. So first of all, Jackson hid her bed and she was upstairs like walking around and I was like, Della, go get in your bed. Cause I'm thinking like her bed's where it's supposed to be. So like go get in your bed. And the bed's nowhere over there. And I'm like, okay, well, obviously I'm stupid. Like I've been telling the dog like 20 times to go get in your bed and there's no bed. So Jackson's taken her bed to the basement and he brings it back up here. And I have like a towel in her bed so that she can like curl up on it. And then she has her bed. So I'm like, Jackson brings the bed up here and it's got like brown throw up in it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, where's the towel? Cause like this couldn't be good. So first thought is like sanitary things, obviously for me. I'm like, oh my gosh, Jackson, you need to go take a shower and like, where's the towel? Cause you've been like rubbing your hands all over this and like, this is gross. So he brings the towel up, throw up all over the towel. So
ew, oh no.
Will takes the stuff upstairs, like puts it in the wash, you know, gets it clean, everything. But she's been like really weird since then. This happened on Saturday and today's Monday. So it's been probably like 48 hours since this happened. And I thought, well, you know, a lot of things that you read talk about like female dogs that were neutered or spayed, whatever you call it. She got fixed at 6 months, and they say that they still have like kind of like a cycle, but they just don't, you know, it doesn't menstruate or whatever. Yeah. So,
right.
I'm like, well, maybe she's just like having her period or something. And so she's been laying in her bed. Will scrambled her an egg, wouldn't eat it. Like her food, won't eat it. I put cheese on her food because normally if she won't eat, she's a really bad eater, but if she won't eat, if you put cheese on her food, she'll eat it. Wouldn't eat that. Okay. So I'm like, okay, well then I started getting worried because I'm like, well, I don't necessarily want to, you know, take her to the vet because anything that you read online is like, unless dogs really have to go to the vet, don't take them because they put them in kennels. They can get like kennel cough, like all of this stuff. So I'm like, oh, I don't want her to get sick, like while being sick while there. So I'm like, I'm just going to kind of watch her. So I opened up a thing of chicken broth because it has, you know, like salt in it and it's chicken flavored. So I was like, okay, well maybe she'll drink a little bit of this and it'll like make her pep up or something. So I gave her a little bit of chicken broth, and she drank a little bit of that, and then I gave her a little bit of peanut butter. She loves peanut butter, and she wouldn't eat it, and I'm like, she's got to eat something, so I kind of, like, made her eat it, and then she's just been sleeping in her bed, so I've got to make her a vet appointment for after this so that I can take her to see if there's anything wrong, just because I'm kind of scared. I don't want to, like, wake up and something happen.
I actually have, I'm sure you guys remember me talking about Gotti, which is a Frenchie that I had gotten for Chris like years ago.
Yeah.
I have Gotti now. He had a vet appointment last week. He's been like throwing up and like sick also. I've been giving him white rice and chicken.
Yeah.
Like, I really didn't have like the time to like boil the like frozen chicken breast or anything. So I got like the white canned chicken.
Yeah.
And then like the 1 minute rice that you like microwave. And I've been giving that to him, and it seems to be helping a lot. So maybe try that.
Yeah. My concern is like her not having any liquids. Like I figured my thought process was if I give her peanut butter, she's going to be thirsty. So then she will naturally, like, if I can get the peanut butter in her, then she's going to keep licking. She's going to be so thirsty that she's going to have no choice but to drink. So then that worked. Right. So she really did. But a lot of Della too is like she milks stuff. Like she's very like dramatic about stuff. And I've heard other people like having small dogs that say they're dramatic, but anytime Della doesn't feel well, and it's happened before, like where she hasn't felt well, but I just don't know like when her cycle comes. So
right.
I don't know if that's what it is or if it's not. So I don't want her to get sick at the vet because you see all kinds of dogs like coming in and out of the vet, like some that, you know, I just don't know. So I've tried to avoid it, but now I'm kind of like getting a little bit scared. So everybody should keep both of our dogs in your prayers because we need some help, y'all. I bet everyone listening can relate to the fact that you want to be healthier, stronger, and feel better, but you don't know where to start. And that's why we love Noom.
Noom is an awesome service that helps you meet your goals, whether it's to lose weight, eat better, have more energy, or really anything that you want to do. They teach people how to develop better habits all through the app on your phone.
A lot of people lose weight but can't keep it off because they weren't given the tools for how to live a healthy lifestyle. Noom is one of the biggest food databases available and will track your meal habits, help you understand portion sizes, and keep you motivated and on task along your journey to good health. I just loved the Noom process because I felt like it was super thorough whenever it was asking me questions and my personal goals. It took my lifestyle into consideration and just made me feel super comfortable and personalized.
I love that Noom is about building better habits rather than just weight loss. So you'll get a goal specialist to guide you, and you can interact with the community for encouragement and support.
Noom is designed for results. It's out with the old habits and with the new. Sign up for your trial today at Noom, Noom.com/coffee. What do you have to lose? Visit Noom.com/coffee to start your trial today. Again, that's Noom.com/coffee. Start losing weight for good. Speaking of dogs, Kail, I was thinking about this other day. So did I tell you about Will and I getting this multi-poo whenever he
like found a dog or something and like brought it home.
Oh, okay. Well, so yeah, that's another story for another day. But this is a dog that we got when we were dating in college, and it was kind of like we started dating so young that we weren't really like ready to get married, but we were ready for like more of a commitment. So I think we felt like, okay, if we get a dog, it's kind of like a baby, you know, that's something that
like
you have together.
We're committed.
Yes.
Right.
So I go online and I find like this Maltipoo breeder, and I wanted like an apricot one. And Will's like, okay, like we'll get it, and, you know, I'll pay for half the dog and you pay for half the dog. And then it's like 50-50 ours. And I'm like, okay. So end up like getting this Maltipoo. She turns out to be chocolate, not apricot. Will was really pissed about that for a long time. But I was working full time when we got her, and it was like in the summertime. So he just had baseball just like randomly, like he played summer ball. So it was just like randomly. It wasn't obviously like a team, but I think they had like one game a week or something. It wasn't super strenuous. So he would take care of Della during the daytime and whatever while I was at work. So he probably should have known at that point that I was going to be a psycho whenever I had a kid, because I would tell him like, okay, if she goes outside and like she gets on the grass, you need to bring her in and like use these baby wipes and like wipe her hands off, because she might get like a fungus or something, parasite on her hands, and then get sick, you know? So he probably should have realized I was going to be a freaking psycho. But I've got to find these pictures, and I know where they are. They're like in my storage here, but Will would like have photo shoots with her. She was like tiny, like really, really tiny, like maybe like a pound, really, really small. And he would take these photos of Della while I was at work. It would be like he would place her in his baseball glove and like take a picture. And then it would be like he would put her with baseball bats and like balls and like take pictures. And then like her sleeping upside down, like on the couch, or like her upside down, like in the recliner. We had a playpen for her, so she would like play in her playpen, and he has like all of these photos of all of this crap. And I'm just like, what kind of psycho am I actually with the fact that he was like doing full on photo shoots with like baseball gloves and shit with like a Maltipoo? Like, what?
But he loves her. That was his first child.
Yes. And so whenever we had Jackson, she like started biting me like right before I had him. And I don't know if she knew like there was something like changing and like a baby was coming, but she started biting at me, and it was like vicious, but she had the tiniest teeth. So she couldn't really like break skin or
like
anything.
Break
but she
skin.
was just vicious. And so, whenever we brought him home, I was super paranoid. I was like, oh gosh, like she might not be able to break our skin, but she maybe could break his skin. So now she lives with his parents, and I swear like she holds a grudge towards Will, because every time we go to Will's parents' house, she's so mean to Will.
Because she loved him, and he
ditched her for a live
but he had
human.
to. I get it though, and that's like a touchy subject for some people, but I do see like why you guys had to rehome her, and she was kept in the family, so you would think that she would be happy. Does she like nip at like Will's parents or anything?
She's just like very, I don't know like what changed in her like that made her aggressive. And I don't know if anybody's listening that like knows a lot about dogs and stuff, but what I read was just like poodles can be aggressive. So like maybe it was like the poodle in her, but she had never been aggressive before that. Like it was probably 4 or so weeks before I had Jackson, and I would like take her outside, put her in her crate, before bed, and she would turn around, like once she would get in her crate, she would turn around and just like go to town on my hand, but for no reason. Like it wasn't anything that I did. I would just, you know, be making her go in her crate. She always slept in her crate at night. So I don't know if she just like sensed that we were bringing like a human, because she was basically like a human. We treated her just like a person. I don't know, but it's really weird. And she's perfectly fine with Jackson, but right after I had him, it was really, really weird. She was possessive. Like she would get on the back of the couch and like be perched up like a cat or something, like where he was laying, and she would watch him, and it made me super scared.
I wouldn't have I would have done the same thing that you did with rehoming her. I think that's like a risk that you were taking. So,
well, and then I'm thinking, oh my gosh, like I think worst case scenario about everything. So I'm like, okay, well, if I know that she has these tendencies or she has displayed these tendencies and then something does happen to him, I'm going to have to be honest and say that like I knew that the dog, you know, was doing these types of things. I'm not going to take him into the doctor's office with like half of his face, you know, like bit,
right.
And say that like I didn't know what was going on. So I just felt like that was the best thing. But I don't know if anybody else has had any experiences like that or not. But if you have, then send me a message and make me feel better about myself, because it was a really hard experience for us. Like the drop off to like take her to Will's parents was horrible.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll get a ton of messages. I remember when my friend Morgan was looking for a golden retriever, I like posted it for her, and she was wanting to like rescue one, and like a ton of people messaged like needing to like rehome, but like didn't want to drop them off at like an animal shelter or whatever. And it can be devastating. Like you get this dog not thinking that you're going to have to like give it up or like it's going to be aggressive or anything like that. So, I mean, that's super tough.
It's super, super sad.
Did you know that some companies only pay a few dollars to make a shirt and then they mark up the price without telling you? That's why we love Everlane.
With Everlane, you never overpay for quality clothes, and they want you to know what you're paying for and why. So they tell you their real cost, and they are radically transparent about every step in the process, from the materials they use to the ethical factories that they work with.
Everlane only makes premium essentials using the best materials without traditional markups. Their clothes look better, cost less, and last longer because Everlane sells directly to you, and their prices are 30 to 50% lower than traditional retailers.
Essentials like their Cotton Crew t-shirts are exactly what they should be: simple, stylish, and made from quality materials. They have 100% grade A cashmere, quality cotton basics, sustainable silks, premium Japanese denim made at the world's cleanest denim factories, Italian-made leather shoes, outerwear made from recycled water bottles. I truly love Everlane. Everything about them is so great. The shopping on there was so easy. I normally have a really hard time finding denim that is sized correctly for me, and it fit like a glove. I can't say enough great things about them. If you guys would like to try Everlane now, you can check out our personalized collection at everlane.com/coffee. Plus, you'll get free shipping on your first order. That's everlane.com/coffee. everlane.com/coffee. Okay, so we did the episode with Reagan, and
yes,
a lot of people answered about the spin the bottle and was like, it was either like one or the other. Like they were all into it and did it and they kissed people, or like nobody played that game. And I'm like, no, actually everybody played that game.
I played that game, but I did exactly like we would do it, and then we'd be like, oh, like you're supposed to kiss that person, and then you just never did. Like it was like like we never actually followed through with what you're supposed to do.
Right. So it was just like pointless. Like you guys were just sitting there and like spinning it around. I was too scared to do that. But then it caused the question for a lot of people to ask about if we remembered the game 7 Minutes in Heaven.
Yeah, I remember that very clearly, but I never played it.
So you never played? You never played?
No.
I never played either.
I was never in a situation where we would have played that. Like I was never at a friend's house in like middle school where like guys and girls were all there. Like that wasn't a thing. And even by high school, it like wasn't a thing anymore. So I was never in a situation to have been able to play. And I also wouldn't have participated.
Well, exactly. I'm like, okay, first of all, I don't even know what I'm getting myself into. I'm paranoid Patty anyway. So like, obviously I'm not going to be getting myself into something like that. And two, I'm scared of the dark. So like, I'm not going in the closet with anybody in the dark, like period. Even if we're not doing anything, even if we're just like sitting in there, I'm still not going in. So, that was just a question that we got a lot. And if you're listening and you have played 7 Minutes in Heaven, please comment on our Instagram and let us know what your experience was, or if you were the same as us and you never played, but knew about it. Yeah.
Yeah, let us know. I'm curious.
So curious. So have you been gearing up to watch The Hills reboot?
No. I waited for your reaction there. I'm at a point where it's like, okay, I want to sit down and watch TV, but like this summer, first of all, I cannot believe it's the end of June. Like I cannot wrap my head around that. And I feel like I've got absolutely nothing done, nothing accomplished. And I haven't watched any TV. Like I literally haven't watched anything. I was able to sit down last weekend when the kids were playing outside. Okay, let me clarify that before I even go further into this story, because I know the trolls will eat me alive. We have a fenced-in fenced-in yard, privacy fence. They were on the trampoline. And I can literally see them from my living room chair. So they were outside jumping, and I was like, okay, like I'll put this movie on. So I did watch 5 Feet Apart, but that was like an hour and a half, 2 hours. And I did have to like get up and like pick some shit up and like do other mom things and then go back and watch it. But I have not had a chance to like sit down and watch TV in at least a month, at least. So I have not even seen anything about The Hills, and I'm like, I want to watch it, but then also like I did read something like months ago about like Andrina can't have her kids on the show because of a custody battle or something. And based on my experience with reality shows, like I did watch Kristen Cavallari's show. I watched like 1 episode, and first of all, it was like watching paint dry. Like it was so boring. I think when you take the kids and the mom and the relatable stuff out, the show is not interesting. And so I'm nervous to see kind of where this is going to go, because they did take like Lauren Conrad is not a part of it. And I don't know, like I'm nervous to see, I guess, like how, and they added Misha Barton, I guess, but like she was never a part of The Hills. So like what kind of dynamic is that going to add? I'll probably catch like reruns.
Excited to watch it just because that's the show that I watched through high school. So
right.
I just want to see kind of like, since it's a reboot, how similar to The Hills it was, and if it's going to be more real, because I don't know if anybody watched it.
No, it won't.
Listening, like the last episode, I think they pulled like the curtain, so to basically let you know that it was scripted.
Well, so I know that MTV is wanting scripted drama. Like they want the reality but scripted part, like scripted drama reality. That's what they were going for in like Teen Mom Young Moms Club and Teen Mom Young Moms Club. What was it? There was like 2 different shows.
So maybe
neither one of them worked out, but that's what they're wanting. Like that's what MTV wants. And so I think that it's not going to be real. Let me not say that. Let me not say it's not going to be real. It's not going to be more real. It's going to be the same type of, like, the situations are real, but maybe like, I don't know, because if you look at like press and stuff, like I don't think any of those cast members like really kept in touch other than like minimally, and now they're coming together again for a show, and now they're all going to pretend to be best friends again.
Yeah, that to me was like the weird part of it. Because none of them before this like followed each other on social media, I don't think, or anything like that. Like they all kind of
but now all of a sudden they do.
Yeah, and they had like moved on with their own lives. I know like Lauren Conrad follows none of them.
Yeah, I mean she's in a completely different space. I feel like. I did see something on Instagram, like MTV Instagram, and Jason is hot AF. Like he is so fucking fine.
Oh my, I can't. I don't think any of them
are so fine.
Attractive.
Is he a dad? Because he's for sure a DILF. Like 100% DILF.
I'm shocked.
I commented on it. He's not my type, and I was like, oh wow, like you're fine, AF.
You are fine. All right, guys, let's take a second to talk about subscription boxes. We all love them, from food boxes to wellness boxes. They're all the rage. So what about getting a subscription box for your kids that's fun, educational, and helps them develop creative confidence to change the world? KiwiCo is a subscription service that will help your kids of all ages stay entertained, engaged, and learn something too. And we all know how bored kids say that they are in the summer, so it's a great activity to keep them occupied and happy. They create super cool hands-on projects for kids to make learning about STEAM fun. You can get all of the supplies that they need to create a project for that month, and it's perfect for an activity that you can do with your kids. I love that it's hands-on. The most recent box that Jackson and I got was a detective kit, which he absolutely loves because he loves to be a spy around my house. And it was so fun. It came with everything that we needed and more, and he just absolutely loved it. We also have done another one that we had to make a claw out of wood, and it picked up objects, and it was just so much fun. Jackson and I get the Kiwi crate, which is for kids 5 to 8, and it's absolutely perfect. KiwiCo is a convenient, affordable way to encourage your children to be anything that they want to be. There's no commitment. You can cancel at any time. Monthly options start at $19.95 a month, including shipping. And for our listeners, you can go to kiwico.com/coffee to get your first month for free. Every day counts when it comes to making a difference, so don't miss out on this amazing opportunity. Again, go to kiwico.com/coffee and get your first month for free. That's kiwico.com/coffee. A funny thing about Will, we were watching reruns over the weekend, and Will told me that, I was like, first of all, why is a little country boy that like played baseball, why would he even know what the Hills was? Like, I was so confused. And he was like, well, I don't know, but everybody knew what it was. And he said, I actually have a scar from where I was rushing in to watch the Hills, and like he got a scar on his arm apparently because he was trying to get in so fast to his house so that he wouldn't like miss any of it. So must have been a big deal for Will.
That's actually really funny. I mean, I guess I could see, like, guys watching it. I don't think that, I mean, I feel like guys watch Teen Mom.
It's probably because, like, Will never had a girlfriend, and I can't even talk because I didn't really have a boyfriend either. So it's probably like he was watching it to, like, live vicariously through them and all the drama. That's what I think it probably was. You know?
Aw, Will.
Poor Willard.
Poor Willard.
Oh my gosh. We did get a question on the Instagram page about if Javi lets Lincoln go to the park alone.
In our development?
I don't know. Do y'all live in the same development?
Oh, wow. I just said our development like as if we're married. In his development?
Yeah, apparently, I guess. I don't know where the park is, but that was just a question.
So the park is very, 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 it's like really close to the house. I actually don't know the answer to that. I'm truthfully not sure.
So it's probably just like the neighborhood park.
Like he can
whatever.
see it. He can see it. If Javi steps out his front door and looks down, like it's like 3 houses down, he can see the park.
Oh, well, that's not any big of a deal. The message made it seem like he was going to like this public park by himself, like miles away from the house.
Oh,
like,
no, it's literally it's on his street.
I freaking highly doubt it. I highly doubt it. Can you tell us all about your short-lived trip to Panama?
Oh my God. I will tell you. So I have some friends that told me about this company that they were a part of. It's kind of like a travel group. And so I was offered a room in collaboration with this company. Mind you, it's not a room through the hotel, but I guess the travel company partnered with the hotel.
Okay.
So I get this room and I have to pay for my flights and stuff like that. And so I have to like do X amount of posts and tag the resort and the travel company in X amount of posts and stories. I'm like, okay, cool. Like, I'm super excited. I've never been to Panama. And truthfully, it wasn't really on like my list of places that I wanted to go. But I'm literally down to go anywhere. So it actually ended up being pretty cool. And I'm ready to go, leave on Thursday. It was a short a short trip while the kids were with their dads. It was over Father's Day weekend, so I wouldn't have had them anyway. And I did have a layover. So it ended up being like a full, like 8 hours of travel by plane and then another get to the airport in Panama. And it was like a 2.5 hour drive to the resort.
Oh,
so
wow.
it had been, like it was a long day.
Wow.
So we get to the hotel. Yes. And like Leah was supposed to come, but then due to bad weather, it was canceled. So she rebooked a different flight. By the time she rebooked the other flight, I had already got to the resort, and I literally texted her, and I was like, do not even waste your time coming here because the hotel is disgusting. We were supposed to share a room, and when I tell you that there was an employee painting over mold, both in the rooms and in the hallways, I wanted to vomit.
Oh,
and then, like,
oh my God.
Yes, like there was like a painting in my room that had like mold spores all over it. Like you could just like see them like just sitting on the surface. And then we went in the pool, and you get what you get what you get in a public pool. Like they're public pools. You have to understand to some degree they are dirty. But when I'm talking like clumps of hair, dirt, tiles falling off of the walls, like it was absolutely disgusting to the point where I looked at my friend Leslie and I said, I can't continue to be in this pool. Like I can't even look at the water. Like it was that bad. So I ended up going to the beach because obviously the beach is the beach, and it was clean. It was a little not what I expected, not as blue as I expected, but it was a good temperature and like it was nice. So I was like, okay, we'll go back into the hotel. We get dinner. We sit down in one of the restaurants that's at the resort, and we're eating. And mind you, the food's not great. Like, it's already not great, but we're eating it because we don't have any other options. Leslie is sitting to my right, and she had gotten a dessert, tiramisu, and she bites into it. And she's like, this is so sour. Like, something is wrong. Like, this is disgusting. And I was like, okay, hold on. So I shine my, phone flashlight on it. And there's mold on it. There's mold on it.
Oh, my God.
And I had told her when we went for breakfast that morning, she wanted to get fruit. And I said, literally, Leslie, like, I could tell by the way that the fruit was laid out that it was the chopped up leftovers of yesterday. Like, you could just tell. And I'm like, this isn't okay. Whether I got this for free, this room for free or not, I still paid for my flights and my transportation to get from the airport to the hotel. The fact that this is even a thing and nobody has complained and nobody has reported this place, so at this point, I'm not asking for money back. I did a whole YouTube review with Nick and Leslie. They're the couple that we were meeting up with each other.
Right.
We did a whole 20-minute review on it and put it on my YouTube channel, and I reached out to the resort and was trying to file a complaint, not to get my money back. I'm not trying to get my money. I'm just trying to literally fix the resort. Want you guys to fix what's wrong. And they were like, okay, we got your email. Now can you click this link and complain here? Okay, did that. Okay, well, actually, you don't get to complain that way. You have to complain through the travel agency that booked you guys here, so you need to file a complaint with them. Okay, done, did that. They never followed through, never followed up. So now I'm trying, why are you guys making it difficult when it has nothing to do with the travel agency and it's literally the conditions of the hotel?
Right. Why would that be
Mind
the
you,
travel agent's, responsibility?
The travel agent has nothing to do with the rooms. So this hotel is called Riu, R-I-U, Playa Blanca, and that's obviously in Panama, like I said. And they were condescending and nasty when they tweeted me back. And, I tried to do it the professional way first. Filed the complaint first before we actually uploaded the YouTube video. So once they realize I am going to jump through every single hoop you have here. I'm going to make sure if you send me a link to complain here, I'm going to complain there. If you send me 12 other links and I have to complain to every single one of them, I'm going to copy and paste and send it to whoever necessary. So I think that once they realized that, they started being very nasty in the tweets back to me.
Well, I mean, in all fairness, you have paid for whether you got a comp stay or whatever it may be. there's an exchange there either way. And there are people that have probably paid good money to go and stay there to experience that same experience. So,
right.
You know, I just don't understand that. I have never had an experience like that, but it sounded terrible. And the fact that you traveled that far, it's not like it was like a 2.5 hour flight to like Cancun.
No.
It's like 8 hours to get there, and then you've paid for that transportation for what?
So then I texted Kristen, my best friend and my assistant. I said, can you please book me a flight home tomorrow? So I ended up, instead of staying until Monday, I left on Saturday morning, like at the ass crack of dawn. And so I had to pay, it was a $365 change fee. And then I had to pay $140 transportation fee to get me from the resort to the hotel. And mind you, there's no cameras in this hotel. There's no security cameras. Like, you can look around in the hallways and in your room, like around your room. There's no cameras. And so then I was like kind of sketched out because I had taken like a van, like a little bus to get from the airport to the hotel originally. But leaving, I wasn't leaving with a group. I paid $140 to leave at 4 a.m. by myself with this driver who doesn't speak English. And so then I'm nervous just because of the stuff that's going on in the Dominican Republic with like the tourists dying and like the resort employees like beating women. You know, I'm not going to lie to you, I was a little afraid. So like, I'm like, now I'm paying over $500 more to leave early. So I was pissed. Like, I was truly pissed.
Speaking of the Dominican Republic, did you see that story that came out about that woman? She was an American woman, and she was at the resort, like, with her husband and one of her children and maybe, like, a friend. They were with, like, family friends. And that she was beaten so bad by, like, a resort person.
Employee.
Yeah. Was beaten so bad and was put, like, in a
closet area or like a behind.
Did you see that?
Yep. And there was actually a woman from Wilmington, Delaware, who was beat so bad and survived.
But why are they beating, like, Americans?
I don't know what's going on there. I know they put a ban, I guess I heard, on travel to the Dominican Republic, but Javi's sister just left and took her son there. And I was like, Lydia, are you sure you want to do this? Like, I told her, I was like, I'm nervous. Like, I just don't. I mean, she speaks the language and, you know, whatever, but I was just very nervous for her. Like, she's still there. So I'm still just kind of like, ugh. Yeah,
that's really terrible. I just don't understand, like, what the motive is there. Like, just to beat the shit out of people, or like, are they getting something from these people? Like, what's
I don't
the deal?
know. I don't know. I don't understand.
It really freaks me out.
Yeah.
Switching gears a little bit. So Jackson has been doing chores like for the past 2 weeks. And, like, on his list, it's like very simple stuff, like make my bed, brush my teeth, fold my blankie, play baseball without crying, eat all of my food on my plate, like very like simple stuff, but stuff that like he should be doing. And he enjoys doing it because he knows he's getting a reward for it. So it's like our rule is for these simple chores, like we're starting like more simple. So like for the simple chores, if you do, you know, it for 5 days, your chores each day, then you get $5. So he thinks that's a big deal. So takes
okay. I mean, that is a big deal to him. I could see that.
He wants to get this home arena that's like wrestling, WWE, and they have it at Target, and it's like $19. So I'm like, okay, well, if you get all of your $5 for the week, then it will take you 4 weeks to get it. So we're trying to teach him, you know, like how much stuff cost. So he only earned $3 last week because I guess he like didn't do it on 2 days. So then when it got like time for the end of it, I guess he was waiting on his $5 and it was like $3. It's like, well, you didn't show up for like your jobs for the other days, so you only get $3. So he has like a little mason jar that has a lid, and he's like got his allowance money up there, and he thinks that he is so big. But I don't know if you dealt with this with Isaac or if you're dealing with it with Lincoln yet, but the level of independence that he's trying to exert right now is like off the chain. Like, he is rearranging my house. He rearranged all the decorations in his room.
Oh my gosh.
He took the dog's food and bowls to my basement.
Wait, why?
Because he thinks it needs to be at a different place.
Okay, he thinks he's helping. Got it. Okay.
And so, like, that's his way because, you know, he's doing it his way because he's the one that's, like, doing it.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay. So I literally just, you know how I like my stuff to be in order. I do not like chaos.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, I let this go on, Kail, for as long as I could let it go on. And, like, 5 days was a huge stretch for me. And I was just like, okay, I can't friggin' do it anymore. Like, I literally can't. If you rearrange one more damn thing in my house, I swear, like, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm going to do something. Like, stop rearranging shit. Like, there is no reason
right.
that you need to be putting your toy box behind the door that we have to open to get in and out. Like, that doesn't even make any sense.
Right.
And, like, all of his little signs, like, I have the little signs in his room that, like, have, like, the sayings and stuff on them.
Sure.
And we're in the process of, like, moving all of that stuff out and redecorating his room because he's, you know, growing. So he's rearranged all those freaking signs all over the room. And it's, like, 12 signs all over the room, like, in each crevice of, like, the place. It's, like, every corner has a sign. And I'm just like, I literally cannot do this. I just can't. First of all, the talk about me with summer camp, we didn't sign up for any summer camps, but his school offers summer camp starting in first grade. So next year he'll be able to go to camp. And I already told him, I was like, you're going to camp.
Yeah. And he doesn't want to?
No, this summer he didn't really want to, but now I think that he realized, and I don't know if other moms that are listening have experienced the same thing, but I feel like this has been my hardest summer with him since he's, like, been in, like, a school program. This has been the hardest transition because I feel like he gets bored a lot easier. He wants to be on the go. He wants to be doing stuff all the time. He's into everything. He'll get out, like, crayons and markers. And then when he gets bored with that, then that's, like, all stashed somewhere that it's not supposed to be. Then it's, like, goes on to the Legos. And it's, like, I mean, 30,000 Legos out on the floor. And I go downstairs and it's like, what the hell is this? Like, what's this? Superheroes, costumes.
Yeah. Yep.
I can't.
Speaking of, like, the messes and, like, getting bored and stuff like that. So I have, I call him my nephew. He's not my nephew. He's related to Chris, but he really is, like, my fourth son. And I'm like, okay, I had him, like, the last 3 days. And then, like, I had my friend Shanika, her daughters were with me for a night. And then my friends visiting from Florida with her son. And so it was literally like Kaylee daycare over here. And I'm just like, I don't know what it is about. And it's not just these kids. Like, I know it was like me as a kid too. Like, what is it about kids when they have their friends over, they feel like the rules and cleaning up does not apply to them. I don't know if it's because, like, okay, we feel like they're occupied, and so we're not, like, on the floor, like, playing with them anymore, you know, when they have their friends over, right? So, like, they're playing with each other. So I don't feel the need to, like, check up on them, but every time I would go to the basement to check up or say, you know, come get lunch or whatever, I would be fucking flabbergasted with the amount of trash that they're leaving around, like, ripping stuff up, and, like, just, like, for example, they were, like, swimming in the pool, and I was like, okay, like, I have certain towels I use for the bath and certain towels I use for, like, the pool and the beach. Go get 3 or 4 towels, and then literally they'd come in. They would be bored with the pool. They'd want to come in. They'd want to do something else, and they'd go back outside to get in the pool and take 3 new towels. Okay, no. This is not that. We are not doing this. you use the same towel you used earlier. It should have been sitting in the sun all day, so it should have been dry by now. And before you even think about doing that, go clean up all the mini muffins wrappers you left on the fucking floor in the basement and the empty juice boxes. I'm fucking tired of cleaning up after y'all. Like, what is going on? Why do they think... It was me as a kid too, but like, I don't think that I really had this perspective until I realized, like, oh wow, like I probably did this as a kid also. But like, why do we feel like that's a thing?
Well, first off, you're not going to go and get in the pool and then get out and then come back in and play a little bit and then go get back in the pool. No, it's either you're in the pool or you're out. But, like, we're not going to play switcheroo. Like, you come in and you've got on wet clothes, because I don't like wet clothes on my furniture and stuff like that. Like, you need to be dry, and you need to leave your towel outside and let it dry. Because a lot of times the pool, like, the towels will get drenched. And even before, like, I put them in the washing machine to get wet again, for whatever reason, I still, like, let them dry before I put them in the wash.
Yeah, because they're, like, dripping, soaking wet.
So what is it? Like, what is it with these kids? I will go, like, downstairs where Jackson plays, and it will be, like, where he's snuck upstairs. He's gotten a gummy pack. He takes it amongst himself to go and get his, like, mini little kid scissors and, like, cut them open so he can get them open. Leaves damn wrappers everywhere.
What is it?
I'm just like, okay, this is just not a thing, and it's not going to be a thing. So you need to get your shit, and you need to get it in the trash can, and you need to get it in there fast, because I'm not in the mood.
You know what? And I think it's not even like the toys. I don't care about the toys all over. I don't care about that type of stuff. But, like, why are you leaving wrappers on my floor? Like, I'm not really and, like, Lincoln's, the way my house is set up, like, the room above the garage is, like, it was, like, really, like, attic space, but we turned it into a bonus room with a playroom. So that's Lincoln's room now, because he, like, Isaac wanted his own space, so he got a different room. And then, like, Lincoln's still at the age where he has, like, a ton of toys, and then, like, Lux goes in there. And they will, like, they have that room, and then they also have the basement. Like, I really don't hang out in the basement. It's more mainly for the kids. Why they feel the need to, like, especially Lincoln and Lux, like, not so much Isaac, but they'll bring the toys from the playroom to my living room.
Oh, no. See, we just had this conversation over the weekend, so clearly we're on the same page. I come downstairs from doing stuff in my bathroom and in my closet, and there are superheroes lining my countertop. And I'm like, okay, have we not had the conversation 95 damn times that you've been told not to bring these things upstairs from where you play with them? You do not need to be playing with them on the kitchen counter.
Part of me is like, okay, let them be kids. But then part of me is like, I need some type of, like, mental break from, like, mom stuff. So, like, maybe don't bring the toys in the living room. I literally just had moved. I had Lux's, like, little workbench. Like, I don't know if it's, like, Little Tykes or, like, Fisher-Price thing. It's, like, the tool bench thing. That was upstairs. And I had, like, this little car that, like, you can, like, open the door and, like, sit in.
Right.
And that was upstairs. And I just moved it to the basement because, I mean, Lux has been going up and down the steps since he was 7 months old with no problem. Never fallen, knock on wood. So it's like, there's no real need for me to, like, have it up here so that he doesn't, like, he's fully running up and down the steps. So I'm like, this needs to go in the basement. Like, it's time. But somehow there's always toys in my living room and I want to throw them out the window.
Oh, yeah. Or in a trash bag. Oh, I just, like...
Right, and that's what I told him. I said, the next time I find a fucking Nerf bullet in my houseplants, in my fucking kitchen sink, I'm throwing it in the trash.
I say that stuff, too. I'm like, don't make me go and get one of those big black trash bags, because when I get it out, I'm not going to stop throwing away until it's all gone. And Jackson's eyes get, like, as big as saucers. Like, this bitch is really going to throw away my stuff. Like,
yep.
Really?
So I wanted to quickly tell you, I don't know why I started doing this, but it's just, like, I don't know if it's because I'm, like, old now. I'm, getting old. But I can't really do it when I'm at home. But when I travel, I go to, like, the bookstore in the airports. And I've been reading a lot when I travel. I finished this one book in 2 days. It's called An Unwanted Guest. It is a murder mystery. It caught my eye, and then I was like, I don't know how, like, the cover was a little weird, but, like, the title was cool, so I was like, okay. So I got that. I literally finished it in 2 days, and I loved it. It was so good. So if you like murder mystery books, or if you're like wanting to start reading, or like you want to test it out, that's a really good one. And I know I had told you guys about that one about Charles Cullen, which was like the nurse that killed like 400 people. That one, I finished that one. And then I did just get, I'm not really into self-help books because like they're hard to like keep my attention. I did try to read The Four Agreements, and I tried to read The Alchemist, but I couldn't get through it. This one I do like. It's called The Art of Not Giving a Fuck, but it's not necessarily, like, I don't know how to describe it.
It's not really
it
like a read. It's like yes, it's a read, but like it's different than like any other book.
Yes, it's different, and also it's not. You would think that it's like about not giving a fuck, but it's really like about choosing what fucks to give and not to give too many fucks about the wrong things, and like putting your energy into certain things. Like saying, there's like an analogy he uses that's like, by saying you're not giving a fuck, it doesn't mean you don't care at all. But like, I can't describe it. I don't know. But The Art of Not Giving a Fuck, I just started it and I really like it. And it's not like a read like you would expect. So I definitely recommend it. And it's pretty short. So like, it's not like too much to read if you didn't have too much time. But I did like that. But I wanted to just say that I've been reading more, which I don't know why, but I love it. Like, I'm glad that I'm doing it.
Because you're trying to get yourself educated, you know? Like...
Yeah, like I would, and especially now that I'm not on my phone because it's not blowing up in text messages and whatever. It's kind of nice to like just like do something different. It like feels good.
To be perfectly honest, like the month of July is kind of what I have set aside for myself to. I'm not going to say like do anything because I have stuff to do and I've got like things like kind of planned days that I've got to get like stuff done, but it's kind of like my month that I'm going to really like scale back, just kind of enjoy the pool, enjoy friends that live around that like I don't get to see often because, you know, I'm working or coming or going, or they're working, coming and going. Just to use that time to spend with family and friends and cook out and like enjoy the fact that it's summer and that I'm about to have a kindergartner who starts school on August the 1st. And as sad as I am, I'm also excited about it because I know he's craving it so much. Like he needs to be in school full day.
Yeah. And I'm sure he's so ready.
So ready. So I think that's all we have time for today.
Okay, well, I can't believe how fast that hour went.
I know. If you guys have not subscribed to us, you can do that by searching the Purple Podcast app on your iPhone. Type in Coffee Convos, click subscribe, click the 5th star, and you can also leave us a written review. We hope you guys have a great week, and we'll talk to you soon.
See ya.
This podcast is brought to you by Wave Podcast Network. Check out all of our shows, including the Brain Candy Podcast, I Don't Get It, Coffee Convos, and Let's Talk About It.